The Nintendo Switch 2 is an incredibly portable system, and that's what makes it really great. The fact that you can play this thing, whether you're in handheld mode or with a Nintendo Switch 2 dock that you can play on your television like you can with your PlayStation, your Xboxes, and your PCs. But what if you didn't like this design, you just never were a big fan of this design, you wanted something that was an alternative and came in at a lower price? Well, I think I found something that's actually pretty neat and unique that I think you're going to want to check out. What's up guys, my name is Uncle G. Welcome back to the channel today. If you wouldn't mind doing so, please leave a like on this video and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Just a couple things before we get to this Antank dock. I want to make sure you guys know about my channel membership. So you guys want to get videos like this early, become a member of the channel, get extra perks, videos early like this one. And it also just helps the channel out, helps me keep making videos like this one. And don't forget about the Dribble G podcast. Record the Dribble G podcast live every week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually it's on Wednesdays, but it can vary. It's a Nintendo focused podcast, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. It's me, so if you like this content, you're going to like that podcast as well. Now, the Antank dock. This thing is pretty unique. I don't know exactly where I want to start with this thing, but just the first and foremost, it is a Magsafe dock. So if you have a Magsafe cell phone, you can use it for that as a stand. First and foremost, actually, it is a stand for your devices. So if it has Magsafe, it's going to work with this thing. This thing does not support any sort of wireless charging, pass-through, or data. Just keep in mind that this is not going to dock your Nintendo Switch 2, just by MagSafe connecting it like that. It's not going to do that. Well, let's go ahead and switch to the desk view. We can take a greater look at this thing up close and get to the details of this thing and why I think this thing is worth your cash. And here it is. Here's the Antank dock. The exact name I don't know. It'll be in the description of this video, so make sure to check that out if you want to. But this is a MagSafe dock, again, like I mentioned at the top. So first and foremost, this thing doesn't fit well in my camera, so I apologize about that, number one. But this thing is made of very nice material. This thing is all aluminum, so this is a super heavy duty stand. I tested it with my iPad Pro 13-inch, and it works. It holds the stand up. This thing has a lot of resistance as well. It's actually very difficult to move, which is a good thing. You want that resistance so it doesn't move on its own. The same goes for this piece right here where the MagSafe part actually attaches. It's all very rigid. Again, no pass-through wireless charging or data. Keep that in mind. What it comes with this cable. So if that's how you're wondering how it docks, it actually uses a cable. So the cable plugs into the port on the back right here. It's called the host cable. You can pass it through right here to the this little slot, and then you MagSafe your Switch, and then you plug it in right there. It's a nice right angle plug. Just keep that in mind. I actually really enjoy that about this. I like when things like this come with right angle cables because it's the proper cable, angular cable for this job. It supports 4K 120, so the few games that Nintendo Switch 2 does support, I think Silksong is like one, if not the only one that supports that, but this dock will support that standard. It has a few ports in the back. It has all the ports in the regular Nintendo Switch 2 dock has. We can start with the LAN port right here, which is awesome to see. LAN ports are nice. You want to dock up. When you dock up, you want to have that LAN port handy. Has the full-size HDMI, of course. 2 USB-Cs. One USB is going to be that host USB-C. So it's only to use for docking. So this is not like an extra USB-C port. The other USB-C port is for power. So you plug in your wall adapter into this guy right here. So no difference with the regular Switch 2 dock. And then we have 2 USB-A ports on the side. Looks like 3.0. They're too close together, but I feel like most USB ports on the Switch 2 dock or what have you are too close together. So not a big complaint, but definitely something to know. I wish they were kind of separated, but 2. So all the same ports that this has, the regular Switch 2 dock has. So this has a really wide range of movement. I think it's 225 degrees. You can see it goes flat entirely. And I imagine it's very difficult to move. It goes forward entirely. So this is for portability. This is actually pretty nice. You can get it really nice and flat. Other than that, I don't know what you would use, how you would use it like this. I guess actually, would it work like this or the Switch is too heavy? Oh, no, look at that. So actually, weirdly, the Switch 2, I'm glad I tested this, is not too heavy with extra big Joy-Con and the case, which we'll get to in a second, it comes with. Keeping it flat like this is actually super low profile. I didn't think about this till right this moment, but yeah, you can plug in all your devices, keep a nice low profile with this thing. That's actually awesome. So other than that, you're not really going to use too many use cases where it gets flat, but it's going to be for portability and for some weird, if you have a weird desk setup or a weird home entertainment entertainment setup, that's going to be a nice little perk for you. It comes with this case, which we'll get to more later in the video. Of course, it comes with this case simply because your Switch 2 doesn't have MagSafe abilities out of the box, of course. So this case provides that to you if you don't have a third-party adapter, which I will get to some third-party adapters in this video if you don't want to use this case, because again, this is not the best case. But I have some other alternatives for you guys if you want to pick this thing up anyway. And the price of this is going to come in at $59.99 USD. So that is a little expensive when you consider the fact that it does not come with a wall adapter like the Switch 2 dock does. While it's more expensive, it does come with those things, so keep that in mind. It doesn't come with an HDMI cable, but if you have a Switch 2, you have the HDMI cable that it came with, so that's not a huge deal. The only cable it comes with is this guy right here, as we talked about before, and this case. This case is not great. I guess we can start with a couple negatives. This case, it comes with this not dockable with the OG Switch. You cannot dock if you want to switch back and forth between rooms. If this is going to be your second dock in a different room, you have to take off this case because it does not go all the way down. It does not support docking with this thing on, and I wouldn't force it any farther than that to risk damaging any of my devices here. So it doesn't feel good. It's very smooth plastic and to be a little slippery. The magnet is really strong, but it's almost too strong, I found, because when you dock it up and you want to remove it from the dock, like, this is great. This is a super strong magnet, probably the strongest magnet I've tried for my Switch 2. You try to undock this thing, and number one, it just, this thing moves, which is a problem. But then the case pops off. That's a little annoying. This thing pops off. You got to switch it back on, and it's difficult to get on and off. I just wish they covered it all the way, because now you have the problem where this thing flaps open when you're trying to undock it sometimes. That's not great. But I have some alternatives to avoid, because I already have these things. This, of course, will cost you extra money if you want to add this to your setup with the stock, because I do really like the stock. We'll get to the couple positives in a second. But first thing is, it's always on my Switch. You guys have seen it if you've seen these videos. This Savage Raven Magsafe Ring, these things come in a pack. I think it's like $10 or $13. Comes with a few things. It comes with like multiple, I think it's 3 Magsafe rings, but it comes with this like stand, Magsafe stand. So that's pretty cool. So you have 3 of these things, which is really nice to see. And you can just pop it right back on the back of your Switch. I like the way this looks a lot. You can also get a grip case. I've covered grip cases on the channel before. All these have we've reviewed previously. The first one is going to be a non-Magsafe version, but I have a ring on here. This is the D brand one. You can always add a Magsafe ring onto your grip case like this if it doesn't support it out of the box. Savage Raven, again, this one does not support Magsafe out of the box, but this is the Savage Raven Fission grip. This is the back for it, and I've added the Savage Raven Magsafe ring on the back, but this is another option you can do. These are these both are much better than this this thing it comes with is from Antank. It's nice that they add it, but these are much better, and you get grips as well for your Switch 2 Joy-Con. But the best one, I think, is always, as I recommended a while ago, this is the Coops case, the P2, I believe, for Switch 2. It covers the kickstand, but it has a built-in kickstand, so that's awesome. It has this MagSafe ring on the inside, so that's cool. It'll work with this guy right here. Boom, bada bing, and it works great. This is the coolest one, and this is dockable with the Switch 2. Right here, so you're going to be able to dock this while this case is applied on your Switch 2. And by the way, I'll link all these videos down below if you want to check out these individually product reviews. I'll link that below. And any of these Savage Raven products, you can go ahead and use my code Uncle G and save 10% off the website, so that price gets knocked down a little bit more. I've experienced no issues with this thing as firmware updates come out for Switch 2. I've only had it for about a month or so, but for that month, it has been working perfectly. Now, Antank is known for updating their firmware quickly when there is a patch. Nintendo tries to brick these things. Bad Nintendo, but Antank is able to surpass that in a reasonable amount of time. I've had a different Antank dock for a while now, and that one always got patched as soon as it got broken by Nintendo. They patched it quickly. So, but that's a downside to these third-party docks, is you're gonna have to patch with firmware every now and again, because Nintendo decides to brick your devices, which is not cool. Nintendo, don't do that. So after you factor in the fact that you're probably going to want to get another one of these cases to replace the one it comes with, and it doesn't come with the brick like the regular Nintendo Switch 2 dock does, it's not as good of a deal as initially seems, because it's basically half the price, actually more than half the price of the Switch 2 dock. But then you got to buy extra things if you don't already have it around. So that's a little bit negative, but overall, it's still very worth it. This is metal. This is aluminum metal. It's super heavy. I think I mentioned that already, but it's really nice. And the MagSafe is something I love. You can see I've had this ring on here for months. I like this thing a lot. I think it has a few flaws because it's not exactly a great deal when you factor in the extra things you have to buy, but overall this thing is a solid deal. I think if you're trying to get an alternative to the Switch 2 that's a little bit more portable, nicer built, and it's just an extra dock that you don't want to pay the full $130 from Nintendo. You just pay $60. If you have the other stuff lying around, that's a really positive as well, because let's say you have an extra Switch charger or a 100-watt charger. By the way, this supports 100-watt pass-through. I didn't mention that. But let's say you have another charger laying around and you can use it with this. You don't got to buy it, so you save some cash. So this thing's pretty cool. I like this thing a lot. If you want to check it out, it's in the links in the description. I don't believe it's an affiliate link, so it'll be disclosed if it is. But what are you guys' thoughts on this thing? Are you guys going to pick this up? Do you like MagSafe accessories for your Nintendo Switch 2, or just things in general? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe in this video. Check out the podcast, become a member. I'll catch you in the next one.